My name is Mark. Mark Kim. I am having stomach problems since yesterday.
Do you have your insurance card?
Yes, I have. I bring it. It is here somewhere.
Sir, I also need to know, is this your first visit?
It is my first time to come here. Yes,
Freeze. Okay, hi. Welcome back. Did you see that? Did you feel that panic? Because honestly, that is every English learner at a doctor's office. Your body hurts, your brain is tired, and suddenly every English word you ever knew just disappears. Gone. I know, it is terrifying, and that is exactly why we are here today. Today's video, it's called Never Say This English at the Doctor's Office. And by the end, I'm going to give you one secret magic phrase that will get you through any difficult moment with a doctor, a nurse, or a receptionist, even if your English breaks down completely. But first, we need to go back. We need to fix what Mark just did wrong, because he made 3 big mistakes in about 45 seconds. 3 in 45 seconds. That is impressive, Mark. Don't worry, we're going to fix all of them. This is real English for the doctor's office, for A1 to B1 learners. No textbook, no boring grammar, just real words that real people use when they are sick, scared, and standing at a reception desk. Let's rewind. Hi there, can I help you?
Yes, hello. Good morning. I am having a stomach problem since yesterday.
Freeze. Okay, did you hear it? I am having a stomach problem. This is a classic mistake, and I hear it all the time from English learners. It sounds like correct English. The grammar is almost right. But a real American, a real British person, we would never say it like that. Here's the thing about I am having. We use that for temporary situations, right? Like, I am having lunch, or I am having a party. But for pain, for a health problem, we say it differently. We say, I have a stomach problem. Or even better, more natural, more casual, we say, my stomach has been hurting since yesterday. Or I've had this stomach pain since last night. Hear that? I've had. That is the present perfect. Don't worry about the grammar name, just copy the music of it. I've had this pain since yesterday. Say it with me, slow. I've had this pain since yesterday. Good. That's it. That's the real English. One more thing. Mark said good morning and hello together. That is very formal, very stiff. Nobody talks like that at a reception desk. You can just say hi or hey there, or even just walk up and say, I need to see a doctor. That is completely fine. That is normal. Okay, let's go back. Hi there, can I help you?
Hi, I've had this stomach pain since yesterday. I need to see a doctor.
Of course, let me get you checked in. Yes, that's it. Natural, easy, human, beautiful. Great. Can I get your name?
Mark Kim.
Perfect. And do you have your insurance card with you today?
Yes, I bring it. I bring my card.
Freeze. I bring it. Oh, Mark. Okay, so this one is very common, very, very common for learners from certain languages. Korean, Japanese, Spanish, Mandarin, where the present tense is used more widely. In English, I bring it sounds like you are describing something you always do, like a habit. Every day, I bring my lunch. That's fine. But right now, in this moment, when someone asks if you have something with you, you need to use a different form. You say, I brought it, past tense, because the bringing already happened. You brought it before you walked in. Even better, super casual, super natural. Yeah, I've got it right here. Or, yep, I have it with me. Simple, quick, easy. Let's practice the slow version first. I brought my card. I've got it right here. Notice how I've got sounds? It almost sounds like I've got it. Very connected, very fast in real speech. But for now, slow and clear is perfect. Okay? Do you have your insurance card with you today?
Yeah, I've got it right here.
Perfect, thank you. Simple, done, confident. That is the move. Okay, Mark, is this your first visit with us?
Yes, it is my first time to come here.
Freeze. So close. He was so close. It is my first time to come here. This is a grammar error, but it's also a fluency error. It is technically understandable, but it sounds very unnatural. And when you sound unnatural at a doctor's office, the receptionist might ask you to repeat themselves, or they might speak extra slowly to you, which honestly is sometimes helpful, but you don't want that feeling of they don't understand me. So here's the correction. In English, after first time, we do not say to come. We say visiting, the ing form, or we restructure the whole sentence. Natural options. Yeah, this is my first time here. Clean, simple. Yeah, I'm a new patient. Even better. This is the magic phrase for this moment. New patient. Write that down. Or say it out loud right now. New patient. When you walk into any doctor's office for the first time, you say, "Hi, I'm a new patient," and they will immediately know exactly what to do. They'll give you forms, they'll explain everything. That phrase opens a whole door. Let's try it. Is this your first visit with us?
Yeah, I'm a new patient.
Oh, great. No problem. I'll get you a new patient form to fill out. It only takes a few minutes.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Did you see his face change? He went from scared to calm in about 2 seconds. One phrase. New patient. That's the power of the right words. Hi, Mark. I'm Dr. Patel. So what brings you in today?
I have pain in stomach area. It is very much painful. And also I have a little fever maybe, I think.
Freeze. Okay, this part. This is where people struggle the most. Because now you are not just checking in, now you have to describe pain in English. And that is genuinely hard. Let's break down what Mark said and fix it. Pain in stomach area. This is missing an article. We need a or the. I have a pain in my stomach. Correct. I have pain in my stomach. Also correct. No article needed before pain used this way. But the most natural, casual way to say this? My stomach really hurts. Or I've been having stomach pain. Next. Very much painful. This is a direct translation mistake. In English, we don't say very much painful. We say, it's really painful. It hurts a lot. The pain is pretty bad. And even more useful, doctors always ask you to rate pain from 1 to 10. So learn the sentence right now. I'd say it's about a 7 out of 10. Or simply, maybe a 6, it comes and goes. Warm and encouraging. It comes and goes. This is a beautiful natural phrase. It means the pain is not constant. It appears and disappears. And lastly, I think at the end. This is not wrong exactly, but when you add I think after everything, you sound very unsure. Doctors need information. You can say I think once, but train yourself to say, I also have a low fever. Or I've had a slight fever too. Slight fever, small, not very serious. Doctors use this word. Use it back. Okay, let's put it all together. So what brings you in today? My stomach really hurts. The pain started yesterday. I'd say it's about a 6 or 7, and I've also had a slight fever. Okay, good. Is the pain constant or does it come and go? It comes and goes, mostly after I eat. Great, that's very helpful. Okay, did you hear that full answer? Count the phrases Mark used correctly just now. My stomach really hurts, the pain started yesterday, a 6 or 7, slight fever, comes and goes. 5 phrases, clear, organized, confident. That is a B1 answer delivered at an A2 level. You don't need complex English to sound fluent. You need the right English. Have you had any nausea or vomiting?
What is nausea?
Do you feel like you want to throw up?
Throw up? You mean be sick?
Freeze. Okay, first, this is not embarrassing. This is normal. Medical English is hard even for native speakers from other countries. Doctors use technical words, then they also use slang, and you have to understand both. Let me give you the key vocabulary right now. Nausea. That feeling in your stomach when you think you might be sick. In casual English, you say, I feel nauseous, or I feel sick to my stomach. Vomiting, throw up, be sick. These all mean the same thing. Vomit is the medical word. Throw up is casual American English. Be sick is casual British English. All 3 mean the same. Learn all 3. Diarrhea, stomach issues, going to the bathroom a lot. Yes, we have to learn this word. It is embarrassing but important. Constipated, the opposite problem. Dizzy, when the room feels like it's spinning. Bloated, when your stomach feels full of air and uncomfortable. But here is the most important thing I want to teach you right now. When you don't understand a word at the doctor's office, ask. This is not optional. This is not embarrassing. This is your health. You have the right, you have the responsibility to ask for clarification. The phrase is simple. I'm sorry I didn't catch that. Could you explain what that means? Or even simpler. Sorry, what does that mean? Doctors are used to this. They will not judge you. They will explain. Always ask. Okay, let's redo this. Have you had any nausea or vomiting?
Sorry, nausea? Yes. I feel sick to my stomach sometimes, but no vomiting.
Okay, good. Any diarrhea?
A little, yes, since yesterday.
All right, and any dizziness?
A little dizzy this morning, but not now.
Perfect. You're doing great. He understood, he answered, he kept going. That is the goal. You don't need to be perfect. You need to keep going. Okay, Mark, I'm going to prescribe you some medication for the stomach inflammation. Take it twice a day with food.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, doctor.
Do you have any questions?
No question. Thank you.
Freeze! Oh no, oh Mark, no. He did not understand, and he said no questions. And now he is going to leave and take medication that he does not understand and maybe take it wrong. This happens, this is real, and it is dangerous. Here is the rule. At the doctor's office, always ask if you don't understand. Even if it feels embarrassing, even if you just want to leave, ask. Here are the phrases you need. Sorry, could you say that again more slowly? I didn't understand. What does that medicine do? How many times a day should I take it? Should I take it with food or without food? Are there any side effects? Side effects are bad reactions from medicine. Always ask this. And one very important question that people forget. What should I do if I don't feel better? Write that one down. What should I do if I don't feel better? This question shows you are engaged. It shows you are thinking ahead. And it gets you very important information. Okay, let's go back. I'm going to prescribe you some medication for the stomach inflammation. Take it twice a day with food.
Sorry, prescribe. That means you are giving me medicine?
That's right. I'm writing a prescription, a note for the pharmacy. They'll give you the medicine.
Okay, and twice a day with food?
Exactly.
And what should I do if I don't feel better?
Warm, impressed. Come back in 3 days, or call us. And if the pain gets much worse, go to the emergency room.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Patel.
Beautiful. He checked, he confirmed, he asked the important question. That is patient English. That is confident English. And it could genuinely keep you safe. Okay, so based on your symptoms, it looks like you might have a mild gastrointestinal infection, probably viral, not bacterial, so antibiotics won't help here. Just rest, fluids, the medication I'm prescribing, and avoid fatty or spicy foods for now. Does that all make sense?
Actually, I want to make sure I understand correctly. Could you give me the main points one more time in simple words?
Smiling. Of course. So, your stomach has an infection. It's from a virus. Antibiotics won't help. You need rest, water, and the medicine. Avoid greasy or spicy food.
Okay, so rest, water, the medicine, no greasy food, and come back in 3 days if I'm not better.
Pointing. Genuinely pleased. Exactly. Perfect.
And the medicine twice a day, right? With food?
That's right, with food.
Thank you, Dr. Patel. I really appreciate it.
Take care of yourself, Mark. Feel better soon. Triumphant. That phrase. Did you hear it? Could you give me the main points one more time in simple words? That is your secret magic phrase. Write it down. Say it right now. Out loud. I'm serious. Pause and say it. Could you give me the main points one more time in simple words? This phrase does 3 things at once. 1, it tells the doctor you are engaged. You care. You are trying to understand. 2, it makes the doctor slow down and simplify. They will actually give you better information this way. 3, it puts you in control. You are not failing. You are managing the conversation like a professional patient. This phrase works at the doctor. It works at the pharmacy. It works with your child's teacher. It works in a job interview. It works everywhere English is being spoken too fast. You are not stupid when you use this phrase. You are smart. You are advocating for yourself. And that is what real English fluency looks like. Not perfect grammar, not 0 mistakes, just the right phrase at the right moment. Mark walked into that office panicking. He walked out with a prescription, clear instructions, and his dignity completely intact. Warm and sincere. That is the goal. Now go get it.